Ajustando o tempo aqui. Boa tarde, boa tarde. Eu sou Marcelo Araújo, jornalista, escritor, artista visual. Estamos começando mais uma edição de A Live. Hoje, excepcionalmente mais cedo, porque temos uma convidada que está 5 horas à frente da gente em termos de horário. Então, por isso eu mudei. Ela acabou de chegar. Hi, June. I will put you in the conversation. Hi, June. How are you?
Hey, Marcelo. Is it pronounced right?
Yes, yes.
It's cool. Yeah.
Thank you. First, thank you very much for accepting the invitation, for being here and to talk about your music. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me. So
Oh,
I'm very thrilled.
it's
It's gonna be
it's a
fun.
big pleasure. It's a big pleasure and an honor to having you here today and on this Friday. I will just talk some words in Portuguese and I will read the little text to make an
Yeah.
introduction about your work, and
Mhm.
then I will ask you some questions. Bom, pessoal, quem está
Yeah.
chegando aqui, hoje temos uma convidada que vem direto da Dinamarca, então por isso vamos falar em inglês com ela, mas eu vou fazer algumas traduções aqui, tentar pegar a ideia dela e passar para vocês. Okay, June, then I will begin
Okay.
reading and
Mhm.
translating, and
Yes.
then I will ask you. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Before singing in the 90s, June Beltoft lived in Copenhagen and played the tenor saxophone in different soul, blues, and rock bands while studying at the Royal Danish Music Academy. Antes de começar a cantar, na década de 90, a June Beltoft morava em Copenhague, capital da Dinamarca, e tocava saxofone tenor em várias bandas de soul, de blues e de rock. O blues é uma influência muito forte para o trabalho dela, inclusive, enquanto estudava na Academia de Música Real da Dinamarca. In 2000, she moved from the capital to a small island called Bornholm. Is this
Bornholm.
Bornholm, where she
Yeah,
lives, where
yeah,
she's
that's right.
speaking right now, in the Baltic Sea, still playing and teaching the saxophone while writing a song every now and then in her spare time, until she decided to change her musical path in 2010, where she came out as a singer and songwriter. Em 2000, ela se mudou da capital, Copenhague, né, para uma pequena ilha chamada Bornholm, onde ela mora, no Mar Báltico. Ela continuou tocando e ensinando saxofone, né? E também continuou compondo suas canções nas horas vagas, né? Até que ela decidiu mudar radicalmente a sua carreira no ano de 2010, quando ela se tornou definitivamente cantora e também autora de canções, a songwriter. Her first single was Negotiation, released in 2011 and recorded in a tiny studio in her home village. The producer was the legendary Danish rock guitarist Joe. Two more singles followed, Out of Sync and The Other Side of Town, and at last, Alive, her first EP in 2013, also with Joe as a producer and on guitars. Então, o primeiro single dela, né? Singles são aqueles discos com menos canções, né? A gente aqui não conhece tanto, mas lá fora é comum. Foi Negotiation, né? Lançado em 2011 e gravado num pequeno estúdio nessa vila onde ela mora, na ilha. O produtor foi o legendário guitarrista de rock dinamarquês Joe. Depois ela gravou mais 2 singles, Out of Sync and The Other Side of Town. E por último, Alive, o seu primeiro EP. EP é um disco também com menos duração que um LP, mas mais duração que o nosso compacto. Em 2013, também com o Joe como produtor e guitarrista. The style of these first recordings was mainstream rock. After having released 9 singles and an EP in mainstream pop and rock styles, it was time to make a change. The mood and the lyrics became darker. Então, o estilo dela dessas primeiras gravações era um rock assim mais mainstream, né, mais popular, né? Depois de gravar 9 singles e um EP com um estilo mais pop rock, né? Enfim, ela viu que era hora de uma mudança e começou a compor umas canções assim com umas temáticas mais, digamos, sombrias. In 2019, Junior released Shooting Star. That song for me is very special because it was the first song I heard from her. A wonderful song, a lot of wonderful songs, but this one was particularly my introduction to the music of this wonderful artist. And then later that year, Dark Clouds followed, and in the spring of 2020, Twisted and Blind came out. 2 more singles are on the way, and she expects her second EP titled Twilight Dreams, with all of the 5 songs to be done in the beginning of 2021. She also wants to make an vinyl, an LP. Wow, I love LPs. Ok, em 2019, June lançou Shooting Star, né? Foi a primeira música dela que eu conheci, muito boa, por sinal, recomendo. Em seguida veio Dark Clouds, e na primavera de 2020, Twisted and Blind. Depois ela gravou mais 2 singles, aliás, ela tem mais 2 singles que estão sendo preparados, que ela espera lançar junto com o segundo EP, que vai se chamar Twilight Dreams, lá pelo começo de 2021, e ela também quer fazer um LP. If you want to listen to June Beltoft's music, you can find it on music platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Tidal, Deezer and others. Então, se você quiser conhecer um pouco mais da música da June Beltoft, ela está disponível em plataformas de streaming, como Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Tidal, Deezer e outras. Então, pessoal, eu vou agora passar para a nossa convidada especial e ela vai falar um pouco, depois eu tentarei fazer uma pequena introdução. June, first...
Yeah.
Sorry. Your songs are inspired. Your songs are inspired by people's lives as well as your own life, I guess. Can we say that they are chronicles about human existence? Eu estou perguntando para ela que as músicas dela são inspiradas na vida das pessoas e na própria vida dela, e se seriam crônicas sobre a existência humana. Okay, June, please.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess because you know, when I meet people, sometimes I just pick up small stories about what they're doing, what they're thinking, and of course my own life, things happens in my life, and then sometimes I just write songs about it. So yeah, I guess so.
Ok. Ela me falou o seguinte, que ela encontra com as pessoas e ouve histórias a respeito das pessoas, sobre o que elas pensam, sobre o que elas fazem, e sobre ela própria. Ok, June, what kind of themes have you been talking about in your lyrics? What do you write about?
Well, yeah, love is, something that comes again and again, There is so much about love to write songs about, and especially the heartbreak songs. But then in my current project, I write about some other stuff too, about maybe feeling overwhelmed about what's going on in the world, and feeling that maybe people are trying to do bad things, and you don't know what to do about it, and maybe you mentioned Shooting Star. It's about failed dreams, not becoming what you expected and what you wanted to become. So yeah, a lot of stuff.
Ok. Ela falou pra gente o seguinte, que ela compõe muitas canções de amor, né? Sempre canções de amor, mas também sobre outras coisas que acontecem no mundo, inclusive coisas ruins que as pessoas fazem, que ela às vezes não entende por que as pessoas fazem essas coisas. E tem essa canção que eu falei, Shooting Star, que fala um pouco sobre sonhos frustrados. June, in the beginning you created more mainstream songs and now you compose darker themes. Does this have like Shooting Star? as you said. Does this have to do anything with any personal change?
Yeah, well, so some people might think that maybe, oh no, June is getting so depressed now, but that's not the thing really. I haven't felt better for years, so it's just that I've always been having both sides in both parts inside of me. So, but there was a period where I went to after writing pop and rock stuff, and then I just had these songs. You know, I wrote them, but I didn't play them. And then at last I wanted to get these songs out as well, and then I just had to make that change. There was also the case that that years ago when I came out with some of my pop tunes, they were airplayed in our national radio. So I felt I was very excited about it, and so I wrote songs in order to get it through to the radio, also because there are good money in having music played on the radio. But then they changed their style in the radio, and then they didn't want my music anymore. So I think, oh, now, what now? Then I might as well just go on and do some music that wouldn't get into the radio anyway. So that's when I decided to make that change, actually. But the songs were there all the time.
Ok. Eu perguntei para June que as canções dela antes eram umas canções mais, digamos, nesse clima do mainstream, mais felizes, digamos, e depois ela começou a fazer canções, digamos, com essa atmosfera mais sombria, e perguntei se isso tinha a ver com alguma mudança pessoal na vida dela. E ela disse que não, que antes ela compunha muitos rocks, né, canções com essa atmosfera, digamos, mais para cima, mas que ela também sempre teve os dois lados, entendeu? E que, enfim, essas canções tocaram muito na Rádio Nacional da Dinamarca, né? Isso foi bom para ela, porque ela fez sucesso e também, claro, obteve dinheiro com isso e tal, mas que depois ela começou a compor esse tipo de... dar vazão também a gravar essas outras músicas que ela já tinha e que o rádio não se interessou tanto por isso e passou a não tocá-la, mas que ela decidiu continuar fazendo as coisas do jeito que ela quer, independentemente disso tocar em rádio ou não. June, there are some people here and they're sending some messages. We have a brother here, Gilson, and he's saying yeah, congratulations to you, everybody. Some people from Brazil listen to our live.
Wow. Yeah, that's very exciting. Hello, everyone.
A June falou que é excitante e mandou um alô para todo mundo. Eu queria perguntar, vou perguntar para ela como é que são as gravações, como é que ela grava as músicas dela. June, how do you record your music? Do you get involved with the production?
Yeah, you know, I'm not a producer myself. I need to hire a producer every time I'm recording anything. In the beginning, I let the producer take a lot of decisions on how the sound should be, in the beginning, with my EP Alive, Joe, he was the producer and guitarist on that project. He hired musicians for the studio on my behalf, and I wasn't even there when they recorded the music actually. And I came to the studio later because I'm living so far away from Copenhagen, where they were recording. So I had to be there for another day. But now with my new project, I decided that I wanted to make some the decisions on the production, because I have so many ideas of how I want them to sound. So I'd hired a producer, and we have an agreement that I am with him in the studio all the time. So I'm with him during the recording process and the mixing and so on. So I have a lot of say in this project. Yes.
Ok, eu perguntei para ela justamente sobre como que era o processo de gravação dela e se ela participava se envolvia com a produção. Ela falou que no começo, que ela não é produtora, né? Enfim, que ela sempre chama produtores para trabalhar com ela e que no começo da carreira dela, os produtores tinham um peso maior, enfim. Quando ela gravou esse primeiro EP dela, o Alive, alguns músicos participaram e eles não gravavam ao mesmo tempo que ela. Porque eles gravavam as partes deles separados dela e ela morava muito longe, então não podia ficar se deslocando para acompanhar essas gravações, mas que depois, hoje, ela decidiu que ela quer estar junto, participando de todo o processo, dando sugestões, dizendo como ela quer que as coisas aconteçam e, enfim, embora tenha um produtor, ela participa bastante, ela opina sobre a gravação, a mixagem, e é assim que as coisas acontecem agora. Which musicians do you work with in the studio? Do you like to work always with the same people, or do you change the musicians in every recording?
Yeah, you know, in the beginning, there were live musicians in the studio. There were a drummer, guitar player, bass player, piano player, and so that was all played by hand. But later on, I only worked with the producers, and then we played the instruments ourselves. And you know, the bass is very electronic drums, and you know, like synthesizers and very automated. So that had changed, but maybe I'll go back and record with some real live musicians again. But you know, it's very expensive. I have to pay lots of persons to get into the studio, so that's also a reason why I'm doing it on the lowest possible budget. So yeah.
Ok. Eu fiz então para ela a pergunta de se ela trabalha sempre com músicos no estúdio, enfim, ou se ela muda a cada gravação. E ela me disse que no começo da carreira dela, ela usava músicos como guitarrista, baterista, tecladista, baixista. Só que hoje ela está trabalhando com os produtores e, enfim, ela e os produtores com os quais ela trabalha costumam tocar todos os instrumentos. O baixo, em geral, é um baixo sintetizado, eletrônico, né? Enfim, baterias, etc. Ela diz que talvez volte um dia a gravar com músicos, mas que se trata também de uma questão financeira, porque é muito caro ter uma banda e não cabe no orçamento dela. June, I will make an invitation for you. Would you like to play a song for us?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's an honor. A big pleasure.
Guitar. Yeah. So, I wonder if it's loud enough. How is the sound?
For me, it's great. Ela está perguntando se o som tá bom, pessoal. For me, it's good. Which song you gonna play?
Yeah, I'm gonna play a song called "The Other Side of Town." It's from my EP Alive. It's about you know, being in a relationship, but you know, maybe getting a little bored and dreaming of you know, how about if you could find someone else, and maybe the grass is greener on the other side. So I call this song "The Other Side of Town," and something about the temptations. So here we go. Telling bedtime stars, singing lullabies from the other side of town. Watching all the movies in the cinema from the other side of town. Here comes the bride and the groom down the aisle, striding through worse and better wearing out love, going mile after mile, fighting to keep it together. See how they run, so eager to hide, holding the cards to their chests, failing to see what they long for inside may be right in their nest. Telling bedtime stories, singing lullabies from the other side of town. Watching all movies in the cinema from the other side of town. Now take a look at these innocent hearts. Soon they'll be crossing the border. Such good intentions were there from the start. Temptation will tear apart order. See how they reach for diamonds and gold, shining though faithless and false, trying to escape from the void, and yet so strong by sweet distant calls. Telling bedtime stories, singing lullabies from the other side of town. Watching all this in the cinema from the other side of town. Princes and fairies waiting for you there on the other side of town. You will become the princess you've been dreaming of if you come around to the other side of town. Go on now, spread your wings out and fly. Just make sure you're awake. All your sweet dreams looking so neat in the night you come true in the days. So tell me bedtime stories, singing lullabies from the other side of town. Watch the old movies in the cinema from the other side of town. Go tell me bedtime stories, sing your lullabies from the other side of town. Watch the old movies in the cinema when you come around to the other side of town.
Bravo, bravo, wonderful, wonderful song, beautiful voice and beautiful playing, wonderful song. Thank you very much, June Beltoft, wonderful. Thank you for this beautiful song. Bom, essa canção que a June tocou pra gente agora se chama The Other Side of Town, que é uma música que ela disse que fala sobre relacionamentos, né? Quando você está num relacionamento que não é, digamos assim, um tanto quanto entediante, você gostaria, talvez, que uma outra coisa acontecesse, mais intensa, né? Aquela coisa de a grama do vizinho sempre é mais verde, né? Enfim, tem tentações, então essa canção fala um pouco sobre isso. Thank you so much, June, again. Thank you. Wonderful music. I will ask another question for you. You have recorded a series of EPs and singles that are available on platforms like Spotify and all those ones I talked some minutes ago. Today, for the most part of people who listen to music, everything is virtual. There is no more physical disc from great part of people. How do you see this model? Do you think it's more democratic and better to promote independent arts using internet, the platforms, the new technologies?
Yes and no. Yes, because years ago, it was only for a very few people to come out with music. You had to be in a record company, or otherwise you couldn't do anything. Nowadays, if you have everyone can go out and buy some equipment and record some music and make it sound awesome. And everyone can put it out there on the internet. So that's the democratic part of it. We can all make our music and put it out there. But the downside still is because you are competing with a lot of information on the internet, and people are getting information all the time, and so you have to be really noisy to get through to people out there on the internet, and that takes money. You have to put some money into to ads. That's a way of doing it. I believe that you found me through one of my Facebook, Instagram ads. Yeah. So it's working, but still I don't have that much money to put into ads. So if you are in a record company, they have lots of money, and they can, if they want to really break an artist, they can just choose to lose lots and lots of money on that, and then this artist can really make it very big, and a person like me would just drown in that competition. So yes and no.
Ok. Eu fiz uma pergunta para June, falando que ela gravou uma série de EPs e singles que estão disponíveis em plataformas como Spotify, aquelas outras que eu falei antes, e que hoje a maior parte da música é virtual, né? Enfim, não tem mais muito a questão do disco físico, né? E eu perguntei para ela o que ela achava desse modelo, se ela achava que isso ajudava a democratizar e promover os artistas independentes, como é o caso dela. Ela disse que sim e não, tem dois pontos positivos. Tem um ponto positivo e um ponto negativo. O ponto positivo que ela falou é o seguinte, que hoje você vai, compra seu instrumento, toca, grava, joga na internet, divulga, enfim. Ela citou até o caso de que eu conheci a música dela pelas redes sociais e pela internet, e que o ponto negativo é o seguinte, é que hoje existe muita informação circulando e que as pessoas são bombardeadas por essa informação então assim, fica difícil também você, mesmo conseguindo postar, mas você atingir as pessoas, você precisa de dinheiro para fazer isso, para investir, e que ela não tem recursos para fazer tanto essa divulgação, esse reforço. E que se você está numa grande gravadora, né, enfim, eles têm dinheiro para divulgar, para promover e tal, mas isso também a gente sabe que não é para todo mundo, né, para poucos. I was saying, just adding here that the big labels, they have all this structure to promote the artists, but it's not for everyone, it's just for a small group.
Yeah, sure. So, but of course, I mean, I'm so glad that it's possible today. I mean, like 20, 30 years ago, it was not an option, but now it is actually an option. So it's just dependent on how much I can manage to get out and find my audience. So I mean, that's much better than it used to be. And people know they don't buy CDs anymore, not in Denmark at least. So that's why I'm just putting my music online, and I think it's actually okay, because it's I mean, we are making so many things, and it's like the environment and the CO2 we are dealing with on the planet. So I think maybe it's okay just to keep the music online, because I mean, we can spare the earth for a lot of pressure that way, I think.
Ok. Eu falei para ela justamente isso que eu tinha falado há pouco, né, de que em relação a essa questão de que a grande gravadora não é para qualquer um, não é para todo mundo, né? Melhor dizendo, e enfim, é para poucos. E ela falou assim que ela está, ela está contente com o que ela faz hoje, com esse modelo, né? Apesar de ter problemas, pontos negativos, mas ela consegue produzir a música dela e fazer com que chegue a pessoas o que não seria possível, talvez, 30 anos atrás. E ela disse que ela tomou a decisão de apenas lançar suas músicas na internet e não fazer discos físicos mais, CDs, porque as pessoas não compram mais, né? Muito pouca gente compra, e que também ela acha que é bom para o meio ambiente, é bom para o planeta, porque já temos muitos problemas com recursos, matérias-primas, etc. Então você evitar de fabricar discos, essas coisas, evita uma série de agressões à natureza. Interessante, very interesting your conception about environment. Very interesting, June, because we need this today, because here in Brazil we have a very big problem today because the Amazon forest is being destroyed by the nowadays government doesn't worry about the environment, unfortunately.
It's terrible. It really is. So, yeah, go on.
Yeah. Okay. And you say you think about releasing an LP, huh? How it's gonna be? And other question: do you have LPs, vinyl albums in your home?
Yeah, I have a small collection of LPs from my younger days. I bought a lot of LPs back in the days, but then I stopped. I think my record player broke, and then I didn't get a new one until a couple of years ago. But I still have a few records from back in the days. A lot of jazz and blues and rock stuff, so, yeah, and classic music as well.
And what about this LP you're planning to make? Is it going to happen?
I will say it's more a dream until now, because it is expensive. I in the beginning of this Twilight Dreams project, beginning with the Shooting Star single, I was dreaming of making, this big vinyl LP album with like 10 songs. But I mean, it's been going pretty slow to like release the music, because I have to raise the money, and I'm trying to get some funding and stuff like that, and trying to get money from everywhere to that project. So until now, I think when I finished this 5 songs, I guess I have for the A side, and then I still need 4 or 5 songs for the B side. But I still hope that someday I'll manage to make a lot, like 4 or 5 songs and another EP, and then I could eventually make this LP with like the songs from this project and the songs from the next project on each side. So maybe it's gonna be a vinyl someday, but I can't promise anything yet.
Okay, I understand. Eu perguntei para ela 2 coisas, né? Perguntei primeiro, enfim, em relação a... perguntei sobre discos, né? Se ela tem LPs em casa, discos de vinil, né? Hoje é uma raridade, né? Mais um objeto assim um objeto cult de fetiche, né? Algumas pessoas compram. Ela disse que ela tem uma pequena coleção, né? Que quando ela era mais nova, mais jovem, ela comprava muitos discos, principalmente de jazz, de blues, de clássico e de rock, enfim, mas que faz alguns anos o aparelho dela, a vitrola dela quebrou, e aí ela parou de comprar discos, mas que ela ainda tem alguns na casa dela. E, enfim, eu perguntei sobre, ela disse que tem tem um projeto futuro, né, para o futuro, de lançar um LP. Eu perguntei sobre esse projeto do LP e ela me disse que é um projeto para ser feito mais para frente, é um longo prazo, porque ela precisa de recursos, né, vai ter que buscar recursos para realizar esse projeto, em todos, onde quer que ela possa conseguir esse recurso, que é caro, né, lançar um LP, e enfim, que ela tem 5 canções de um EP que ela lançou recentemente e futuramente deve lançar mais um EP, então quem sabe ela lance daqui a algum tempo, pegue o material desses EPs e transforme num LP, num disco de vinil, mas que é uma coisa para realmente longo prazo, ela não promete, não vai prometer nada por enquanto. Ok, June. Um,
Mhm.
uh, you talked about classical music and blues and jazz and rock. I'd like to know some of your influences, musical influences, or not only musical influences, but what
Yeah,
artists do you like?
yeah, but I've been listening to a lot of different music during the years, and depending on which period. And you know, I once was a sax player, so I've been listening to a lot of jazz and saxophone, jazz saxophone players, but also to more blues stuff, like some more blues influenced sax players back in the days when I was a sax player and was playing a lot of blues stuff. And later on, and also some classical music. I went on the music academy, and we were studying all kinds of music there. Um, and later on, I'm just been pretty open to many different styles and genres. And I don't think I can mention, you know, like a name that has meant it all, but but I've been listening to pretty much every kind of style and genre during the years. Yeah.
In blues, do you have some specific artists that you like, very
Mm.
special for you? Blues
Yeah.
singer?
Well, I was listening a lot to you know, a sax player named Junior Walker. He was
June
a
Walker.
blues soul jazz, sax player. Actually, he was also a singer, by the way. Um, and um, and what his name? King Curtis was another great blues sax player. I guess you know him. Yeah, very very.
Yeah, I have some
Yes.
records.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and I was listening to like Sting, but he was not a blues, I guess. But um, and you know, and just a lot of jazz, a lot of pop, a lot of rock, some classic.
Ok,
Yes,
ok.
and of
Eu
course
pergunto.
Beatles and you know all the old big masters. Yeah.
Ok, ok, thank you. Eu perguntei para a June qual que é, para ela citar algumas das suas influências, né, musicais. Ela me falou que quando a June ela começou tocando saxofone antes de se tornar cantora e guitarrista, enfim, e ela ouvia, né, gosta muito de saxofonistas de jazz, né, e também saxofonistas de blues. Ela citou Junior Walker, que é muito conhecido como cantor, mas também toca saxofone, e King Curtis, que é um saxofonista de jazz e blues e soul, muito conhecido também. Ela falou que ela ouve muita música, que ela gosta de muitos estilos diferentes, gosta de diferentes. Música clássica é uma referência para ela. Ela estudou música clássica na academia de música lá da Dinamarca, então estudava muito esse tipo de música. Ela gosta muito de música popular, de rock, de vários estilos. Citou Sting, citou os Beatles, The Beatles e os grandes mestres da música. Então ela tem várias referências. Okay, I'd like to know something now. How is the situation of live music in Denmark today? You are playing gigs, huh? How is it
Yeah,
now because of pandemic?
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. I've been playing some small gigs during the summer. You know, playing for tourists, playing some, you know, my own stuff and some cover stuff. But I think the situation is really bad in Denmark, in the music business. You know, all the big events are just like shut down, and they're trying to start up with something, but I'm not really sure how they are going to do it. And you know, the economy in the music business is totally well, that's it's not good. And I know that a lot of my colleagues are very worried, and you know, their economy is totally broke. So that's not good, not really good. But at least we are lucky to that we have a government that actually try to help the music business. But there are a lot of discussion on how's the best way to help the music business, and how much help should they get, and stuff like that. So it's complicated, but I think at least they try.
Ok. Ok. Eu perguntei para a June o seguinte, como é que está a situação hoje da música ao vivo na Dinamarca, né? Porque o mundo inteiro teve que parar por causa da pandemia, né? Da Covid-19. E eu perguntei para ela como é que está a situação lá. E ela falou o seguinte, que já está sendo retomada aos poucos, né? Ela tem tocado em pequenos lugares, muito para turistas, mas que a economia do país foi abalada por conta da pandemia. E o circuito musical também, grandes eventos foram cancelados, a economia está realmente com muitos problemas, mas que, apesar dos problemas, pelo menos o governo de lá está tentando ajudar a classe artística e dar um apoio para que esse show business possa ser retomado aos poucos. Eles não sabem ainda meio como isso vai acontecer, mas, segundo ela, pelo menos estão tentando, mas que muitos amigos dela, que são colegas dela, músicos, estão realmente preocupados com essa situação difícil. Ok, June, can I ask you playing another song?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's our pleasure here.
Yeah. So this one, it's also about love in some way. It's maybe a kind of a personal song about, you know, I wasn't very happy in when I was married. So unfortunately, we eventually got divorced, and then I once met this man that made me feel in a totally different way than I've ever felt before in my marriage. So so that's what this song is about. Would you like to translate before I start? So,
okay. What's the name of the song?
Walk in the Desert.
Walk in the Desert, andando pelo deserto. Ela está falando o seguinte, que essa é mais uma canção sobre o amor, pelo um ponto de vista pessoal dela, né? Porque ela era casada, e, enfim, infelizmente se divorciou e tal, mas que depois disso ela conheceu uma pessoa, um homem que fez se sentir muito bem, como ela nunca havia se sentido. Então essa canção fala um pouco disso. Ok, June, please. Thank you very much.
Guess this is just another silent, silly song about a life slightly out of tune. Don't seem to be a big deal, but somehow over time things tend to gather up like dunes. It's been like a walk in the desert until you came along. walked a mile down the road with me. Now I'm headed for whatever might show up, on my way to what may finally set me free. Now when I met you, it occurs to me how much I've been missing in my entire life. Trying to like fit into the box that I was given, for love and for being someone's wife. It's been like a walk in the desert until you came along and showed me I deserve so much more. It seems like things begin to dawn a bit on me, what I'm truly headed for. And I'm so thankful that I met someone like you, even though you never will be mine. Help me unlock some deep emotions that were hidden. Now they become my guiding light. It's been a walk in the desert, and I didn't even know just settled the breadcrumbs in the cold. Totally forgot there's so much more to love until you showed me where to reach out for the gold. I was walking through the desert when an angel came along, took my hand, walked in mile with me, opened my heart for whatever might show up, on my way to what will finally set me free. Open my heart for whatever might show up, on my way to what will finally set me free.
Oh, wonderful. Lovely, lovely, wonderful song. Thank you very much, June Beltoft. Thank you very much. Wonderful song, very beautiful song, very touching. I watch the people writing here and saying, oh, beautiful song, says Josiana.
Oh,
Vanessa says, bravo.
thank you so much, everyone.
From Denmark to the world, from Denmark to Brazil, June Beltoft, thank you. And I'd like to ask you something that it's a curious. I'm a little curious because I read that you used to teach the saxophone a long time, and for a long time, but you also teach it songwriting for children at school.
Yes.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost 10 years ago I began to teach songwriting. I come out to I go out and visit schools, and then I come into a school class for a week, and then I teach them how to write their own songs. So when the week is done, then we have like 4 or 5 songs, and kids are very they are so funny to write songs with, because they have a really awesome imagination, and they get so many great ideas that I would never have thought of myself, and I just love it. So I eventually I had so many good songs from the kids that I had to make this band with children's music to like have an excuse to play the music. the songs from the kids. So yeah, that's great. I love it.
Well, what the age of those kids? The age.
They are about, I think, 9, 10 on up till like teenagers. So yeah, from they are able to read and write. I teach them in that age, but I also teach actually some younger kids as well. I do that with a visual artist. So she make them paint and draw, and then I help them writing a song, and we make up a story, and we write a song about that story and the persons in the story, and we make some pictures. So yeah, also smaller kids actually from about 7 years. Yeah.
Great. That's
Mhm.
education. Good education.
Yeah,
Education by music. Wonderful. I will translate. Eu perguntei
yeah.
para ela porque eu soube que a June, ela deu aulas de saxofone por muitos anos, né? Ela tocava saxofone e depois ela começou a dar aulas de composição de canções para as crianças lá na Dinamarca. Crianças principalmente na faixa de 9, 10 anos, crianças já alfabetizadas, e que ela começou a ensinar para essas crianças, e as crianças passaram a compor suas próprias canções, algumas compondo 4, 5 músicas, enfim, e ela fica surpresa, muito contente, porque as crianças realmente têm muita imaginação e muitas ideias que ela falou que talvez não tivesse essas ideias, que são ideias que a surpreendem e que ao fim desses cursos ela acaba promovendo, digamos, criando uma banda com as crianças. Ela falou que trabalha nesse processo de educação musical com crianças já alfabetizadas, como eu disse, mas que ela também trabalha com crianças que ainda não sabem ler, isso com a ajuda de artistas visuais que vão desenhando, enfim, e eles criam histórias e a partir dessas histórias as crianças, as criancinhas pequenas, compõem música. Very interesting. It's a very good method of education, musical education. Another curious of mine about Brazil. Do you know or like something from Brazilian music, Brazilian culture? What have you heard about Brazil?
Yeah, of course, I've heard about like samba and bossa nova because when studying jazz, you get to know the styles like that as well, and Carlos Jobim, and so but that's I think that's basically what I know of Brazilian music. I'm not deeply into it. I don't know it deeply, but what I hear from Brazil, I really love it, and I enjoy it a lot. And I also been playing in a Latin band actually. We were playing a lot of Afro-Cuban stuff and also some samba songs every now and then. So yes, I know a little about Brazilian music, but that's only a tiny bit I know. But that's what
Yeah.
I know about Brazil. It's for your music
Okay,
and
thank
football.
you. Football, yeah.
And
Very
football.
good football players.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Eu perguntei para Juni se ela conhecia, que ela já tinha ouvido falar do Brasil, se ela conhecia a música brasileira, já ouviu falar de alguma coisa, se ela gosta. E ela disse que ela não conhece assim profundamente, conhece um pouco, mas que ela gosta muito de samba e de bossa nova, do ritmo, da batida, né? São estilos que ela conhece e ouve. E também, ao final, ela citou o futebol, né? O futebol que é uma tradição brasileira. Ela falou que tem muitos jogadores bons aí no Brasil, futebol. June, I'd like to know, is it possible to have another song?
Yeah, I think so. Why not?
Okay,
What
one last.
one last?
Thank you very much. You're very kind.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what could that be? Okay. Hmm. Maybe I should play one of the songs from the Twilight Dreams project, actually. It's I've been practicing this acoustic version of Twisted and Blind. You know, it's we play it with, you know, with a lot of synthesizers and drums and stuff. But now I try to make this version with only the guitar and my voice. So let's see what it goes like this. Searching for the music inside. All I see is just a flashing light from a naked light bulb hanging from the ceiling. So cold in the darkness gives me this feeling, twisted and blind. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Sleeping on the water keeps me from drowning, keeps me from losing myself to the sharks coming to get me. I try to escape them, but my feet only run slow through the dark, twisted and blind. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Twisted and blind. Look at you, look at you now. Finding the answer, maybe choking my laughter. They had me fumbling for my ever after, like an old cynic. I see it clearly. They surely want some to be twisted and blind. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Twisted and blind. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh.
Thank you very much, June Beltoft. Thank you. Unfortunately, our time is ending. We have more than 1 minute, but I'd like to thank you very much for being here and showing your wonderful music. Thank you.
Thank you for letting me show you your music. So it was a great pleasure, and I'm sending some virtual love to all of you guys in Brazil. I really, yeah, so nice to meet you all. So
Thank you very much. That was a gift, a very great gift having June Beltoft here today playing her music, her wonderful music. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best and a lot of success for you. Thank you, June, again.
bye.
Bye bye. See you. Gente,
Bye.
boa
See
noite,
you
boa
all.
tarde.
Yeah, take care over there.
Ok, you too. Thank you very much. Obrigado a todos que participaram. A gente está encerrando aqui, o tempo está acabando. Muito obrigado, June. Bye bye. Gente, boa noite, boa tarde, bom fim de semana.